Good morning and welcome to the channel. In today's episode, I am in the garden. It's early morning, it's crisp, it's windy, it's the perfect time to do a little harvesting. And I thought, you know what, before I harvest, let me give you guys a tour of the garden. So if you'd like to see what I have growing in my garden, because it's different for me every year, stay tuned. So I was having a cup of coffee this morning and I thought to myself, you know, it's cool out. I'm watching the dogs go and take care of their business this morning. I said, I've got some kales I need to harvest before the sun really kicks in and they begin to fall out like a 2-year-old and have a tantrum. I need to get them out, process them, and I figured I'd show you guys what I have. So grab yourself something to drink. I've got coffee this morning. Have yourself whatever your morning beverage is, and let's get into this garden and take a look at what I have growing. This is the shady part of my garden, and in this container I placed some store-bought ginger that was beginning to sprout, and I can see that it is beginning to come up. I have one sprout that I can see, but I know many more are in there. So I'm hoping soon that this pot will be full of ginger. This container contains my taro root, or taro root, however you pronounce it. It's T-A-R-O, taro root. And so this overwintered for me last year. I placed it in a new container, and as you can see, it is growing, it is expanding out. It is spreading its toes in the sand and enjoying its life. In this container, I've companion planted with some garlic. I have a Bruce plum. Now, it's a baby. It has not given me any plums, and I'm okay with that. I just wanted to sit here and grow. I hope you guys can hear me, but this is my plum. And has a visitor, and I'll show you guys what that is in just a second. In this container, I have a beautiful Japanese acer. It's a baby. I picked it up last year. It is leaning. It has been toppled over. The wind has gotten to it. I need to restake it. I'll do that later today. I have 2 of these beauties, but this is a tree that I'm so glad I have. But this is a beautiful Japanese acer. I got it from Walmart, and as you can see, $14.97. This little beauty is my Russian sage. It has toppled over. We've had a lot of thunderstorms here lately. It's lost some of the winter sowing that I placed in the container, but I threw some seeds of some things in here, so we'll see what comes up. But this is my returning Russian sage from last year. I am going to try to propagate it. It's got some really nice new shoots on it. It's actually widening, so I want to make another plant of this, so I'll be taking this and propagating it. But this is my Russian sage. These containers here on the opposite side are a mixture of flowers, bulbs that I had planted from last year, as well as seeds that I sowed as well. And so this is a mishmash of a lot of everything, so we'll see what happens in here, what comes out. This is my second Japanese acer that I was telling you guys about. It is a little more advanced in its growth. I think it's getting a little bit more water, but that's okay. You can see how beautiful those leaves are. It's a beautiful plant, and I'm excited to have it. In this corner of my garden, I have a lot of herbs, maybe not a lot, but I have a few plants. This is some yarrow. I'm going to be cutting it back because it's starting to look a little straggly, but as you can see in the center, I have some new growth coming in. I have lavender and rosemary here on this shelf, looking a little scraggly, but I am propagating that. I have a video that I've put up that I'm show you that I'm propagating, and so this is also lavender. Again, I will be filling those pots that are empty down there with the propagated babies. This container here is a canna. This is an orange canna that was gifted to me. These, sorry, I hope I didn't go too fast. These are my red cannas. I'm going to have to, I didn't want to, but I'm going to have to take them out and clear out some of that soil There was a lot of cannas growing in these pots last year. As you can see, this one is really congested. It's grown a lot, and I need to give it some more room to grow. So I'll be taking those out and giving it some more space in the pot by cleaning it out. But it's starting to look really, really good. It's flowering, as you can see. Really beautiful plant. I found these on clearance and I absolutely love them. Down in my frog container at the foot of that, or at the base of it, I used to have a citronella balm in there, but it has died, but that's okay. I actually have some shampoo ginger that started to sprout, so we'll see if it comes up. At the top of the shelf here, I did plant some seeds. They are slowly coming up. I had to shoo away a pigeon today, so one of my tomatoes is leaning and I've got to clean out that pigeon poop. Silly pigeons. But this is a tomato. This is a Roma tomato. I did plant some basil in here as well, but I don't see any of the basil coming up. It may not have germinated. I do have basil over in this pot. I also put some more seeds in there, some marjoram and some Greek oregano, but I don't see those. And in this pot, I've put 3 tomatoes. I have some San Marzano. I also put some basil in here, but I don't see it. Do you guys see it? I don't see it. So that did not germinate, but that's okay. Everything is still young and new in the garden. In this section of the garden, these are my hibiscus plants that came back from last year. They overwintered. I have 3. One here, and one on the opposite side. I will be cleaning off all the death. I've been trying to let them leaf out, and as you can see, this one is leafing out even towards the base, but this branch did not come back, so I will be cutting that out. I do have some society garlic that came back from last year. It looks like it's starting to put a little bud down there. I'm hoping to propagate that as well. This container consists of bulbs that didn't do a really great job over the spring, the winter and spring. So I know they're still in there. I know they're alive because I did do a little bit of digging around. I acquired this bush bougainvillea, and it's actually putting on some new growth. It's actually looking pretty good. So this bush bougainvillea was a clearance find, and so I popped it in there. So I know that those bulbs are alive, so I'm just going to leave it. I did underplant this with some nasturtiums and some other seeds. I don't remember which I put in here. I have something growing right there, but I'm going to keep an eye on that and see what's going to come out of that pot. But the bulbs I had in there were saffron bulbs, so they greened up, they put out foliage, but I didn't get any flowers, so that's okay, maybe next year. The greenhouse is very active. I have lots of plants in here that I have been trying to propagate, plants that I have been digging out, and plants that I've been trying to seed and put in the garden. I'm not going to talk you all through all of that. That'll have to be another video, but I am filling up the greenhouse with lots of goodies for myself as well as gifts for family members. But that's the greenhouse. This beauty right here is my peach tree, and I'm so excited. I did underplant this with garlic. Can you guys see? I've got garlic in there. I put garlic in all of my fruit tree pots. But this little beauty right here did have a lot of flowers on it, but the vast majority of them fell off. But I have in that little tool wrapping there, I have 2 peaches. I hope you guys can see them. And I'm so excited. I wrapped them up because I didn't want any of the birds to get to them, but I have peaches. In this container right here, I have a mishmash of a few things. I have some moringa coming back that actually not coming back. I seeded some moringa, and I've actually tried to keep it safe because what I have growing right there, that little baby Groot that you can see, that little baby Groot is a pecan. One of my co-workers had a pecan seedling pop up in her garden, and she dug that out and brought that to me. Now in this container, I actually do have 2 pecan seeds that did germinate, and they're in there. I haven't seen any signs of them popping up through the soil yet, but they are in there. But I'm so excited to have me a little baby Groot. And this is my pecan, and these are my moringa. Hiding up under the table right here is my Victoria rhubarb. It does not like the heat of my area, and I think it really doesn't like much sun. So I've hidden it up under the table, and so far it's looking a little bit shaggy raggedy, but that's okay. It's still alive, so I'm just gonna leave it be. But that's my rhubarb. This area of my garden looks a little bit overtaken right now, but that's okay. I have a red amaryllis here that has flowered, and some of the flowers have died. I'm trying to see if it's going to give seed. We'll see what happens. Looks like one of my flower heads died back, so I'm going to cut that off because that one's definitely not going to give me any seeds. And then in the center here, this pretty baby is a fig tree. You can see it right there, and you can see it right there. That's figs. And over here in this red pot, I have another amaryllis. It's a white one. And again, it doesn't look like that seed head or that flower head is going to give me any seeds, so I will be cutting that off as well. But this particular amaryllis has been reproducing. I bought one bulb and I had like 5 or 6 babies in there. I've actually dug out a few and given them to some coworkers. This gorgeous specimen back there is my amethyst. I've had it for several years. It overwinters and comes back every year for me. It goes all the way down to the ground down there. But that is an amethyst, sorry. That's an amethyst right there with those beautiful flowers. I can't remember the type of amethyst, but I'll put that in the description box below, because the flowers on this amethyst, the flowers on this amethyst are shaped like a pine cone or some type of cone. See that? They're not like your regular traditional amethyst, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and it does have a nice little light scent. This is my white garden, and I know before you say it, those are pink Sweet Williams. Yes, I know. I don't know how they got in there, but that's okay. I will eventually take those out, but this is my white garden here. And I have my comfrey as well as some white tulips growing in this container. Let me show you. I've got some tulips popping up. I hope you guys can see them. Right here and right there. Those are white tulips. And I will be planting a plant in the back here where I have an open space. I have another white plant that I'll be planting there. It looks like I may have something popping up. Hope you guys can see right there. But I'm going to be planting a pot of something in that space right there. But this is my comfrey that is taking over. I have several comfrey plants in here. I think it's like 3 of them. Let's see. Yes, I think I've got a shadow, but this is the only angle I can give you guys. This in this pot right here is my elderberry, and as you can see, it is quite lush. I have 2 different types of elderberry in here. I have an Adams and I have a York, and I do have it underplanted with a white peony, but I don't see the peony anywhere. I'm hoping that it did not die on me, but I did put a peony root in there. I'm gonna have to dig around to see if it's still alive because I don't see it, but I do have a peony in there somewhere. And I'm so excited. This is my first time seeing this. My elderberry is beginning to bloom. How exciting. But all of this right here is elderberry. Now behind the elderberry, you can't see it too well, but I'm going to move it. That right there is my second fig tree. I have 2 figs. I have a Chicago Hardy and I have a LSU purple. This pretty baby right here, which is being overtaken by so much, but this is its leaves right here. This is a nectarine tree. I don't have any fruit on here. I'm a little bit saddened by it, and here's some of the leaves here, but that's okay. I guess it just needed some time. It didn't say that it needed another cultivar, but it just may. It had beautiful blooms on it, but for some reason I don't have any fruit. Oh well. I have placed flowers in my garden. Over here I have a mixture of flowers and herbs. I have sunflowers and marigolds in there. I have peppermint coming back in here. I did also spread some seed, but this is my peppermint pot. I have marigolds, and I don't even know what that little baby over there is. Could be a marigold, could be a surprise, I don't know. This is a dahlia that I got on clearance for like $1. The blooms have died back, but it's not dead. So in this container, I have more sunflowers. The teddy bear sunflowers is what I planted this year. And I also have marigolds. All of this has grown from seed. Everything you see here, I have grown from seed. This dahlia was a clearance purchase, but my marigolds and everything else from seed.